All right. Hey, everybody. Looks like we're on. Welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. Let me get this frame settled here. Looks like we're good. Hopefully, this is getting out. If you can see this, give me a shout. But I wanted to come live again because a lot going on in the house with the kids and schoolwork and services and parents kind of losing their trees. Hey, everybody, how we doing? Thank you for joining. We got Les Silent Scope and Cheese Puffia and Detroit Redneck. How we all doing? All right, cool. So I wanted to start this video. First off, sorry for the live format again. Times are tough here, and I'm sure they are everywhere else, but doing the best we can with all these crazy kids. But I just wanted to give everybody, first and foremost, a thank you. I just found out literally, I don't know, half an hour ago that the channel is back in the good graces of YouTube, so we have been remonetized. Although I got to do a whole bunch of appeals because a lot of my channels, a lot of my videos were flagged for truth, I guess. So I wanted to thank everybody. I know some of the viewers have reached out to YouTube, whether it was email format or tagging them on Twitter or however, and I want to thank you because it definitely made a difference. So thank you so much. I'm just so lucky to have you all here supporting me. So thank you so much. Don't know, I wouldn't be doing this without you viewers. So I wanted to bring everybody's attention to Firearms Policy Coalition, Second Amendment Foundation, and two others that I'll tell you here in a minute. They're kicking the proverbial rear end in California right now. Today alone, I was made aware of two things that are going on from them. In fact, one of them I just got at 6:25 p.m. It's 6:46 by the time I got this thing going. So this just is hot off the press. So we'll start off with the newest. Firearms Policy Coalition and Second Amendment Foundation are going hard right now in several states, and California, they're doing it right now for you guys. So I'll read you some of this press release here. I won't go too into it because I don't know. You might know most of this if you have been paying attention. But so Firearms Policy Coalition and the Second Amendment Foundation, California Gun Rights Foundation, and the California Association of Federal Firearms Licensees, and the Firearms Policy Foundation, they have sent a letter directly to the Attorney General Xavier Becerra. I'm sorry, Xavier Becerra, brain fart, and also his the Department of Justice and Bureau of Firearms Chief Brent Orrick. They have been served papers, and it's a great thing. So let me read you a little bit here. It was a pre-litigation letter. It's a demand letter. So they're saying either do this or we're suing you. So a lawsuit could be definitely following this shortly. Over the unlawful regulation delaying gun and ammunition. I can't even talk. Excuse me. The unlawful regulation delaying gun and ammunition transfers. It's the gun and ammo ban that's been going on, and they've been shutting down stores and forcing them to not release stuff that's been purchased, and the wait period has already gone by. The people can't get their stuff. And I'll read you a quick quote or two from this, and then I'll go to the other news that they have that is pretty damn stellar as well. But again, thank you guys. Really, thank you for sticking by the channel. It's really, really meant a lot. So this quote is from the cease and desist letter itself. It says, while your notice, a patent expression and confession of an unlawful underground regulation and enforcement practice gets points for creative writing, it fails as a matter of law. If you cannot manage to run the firearm and ammunition systems, the state demands it into accordance with constitutional principles, then the state should stop requiring those programs and adding new ones. Meaning, if you can't do what the Constitution says, then you just can't add your own stuff. Pretty well put. Let's see. The Firearms Policy Coalition Director of Legal Policy, his name is Matthew, it's LaRosiere. This is what he just said. The people of California are already forced to navigate a horrifying mire of gun control law as it is. The DOJ in California wants to decree new underground regulations to add on to all expensive and burdensome requirements, evidences, and substantial disregard for and disrespect towards the rights of Californians. He's saying that if you're not aware, there's a wait period in California, and they've already gone above and beyond to extend that 10-day, I think it's a 10-day wait period if I'm not incorrect, I'm pretty sure it is. But California's been doing everything they can, just like other states, Massachusetts and New York, and others, that are trying to delay purchases and transfers of firearms because it's going to turn into the wild, wild west. However, California just let go 4,000 criminals back on the street, and I don't know what their charges were, but what they're saying is they're more worried about the rights or the feelings of those who have been locked up for whatever reason than they are of those people who are law-abiding and following the Constitution. If that doesn't say enough as it is, I don't know what else I can tell you, because that is obscene and absurd. So they've sent a cease and desist letter to Becerra, the AG, and his czar of guns there, Brent Orrick. And that literally just came out at 6:24 p.m. The other one that came out today from Firearms Policy Coalition is this one. And before I move on, let me give you, I always say support those who support you, okay? Firearms Policy Coalition, Second Amendment Foundation, Gun Owners of America, Goal, Com2A, and I'm sure there are locals in your area. In just these cases alone, we got Cal Gun Rights, the California Gun Rights Foundation, and others that are fighting to stop the madness. And it takes a lot of money for a lawsuit. Those of you who have sued somebody or who have been sued on a personal level, you know what I'm talking about. But this is a state level. They're suing the government. This is going to be very expensive. So support those who support you and join these groups. The membership is the lifeblood. If you can join them, that's usually the cheapest option. If you can spare a little more coin, if your stocks did really good, if you got like a lot of Tesla or Apple stock, maybe send them a little more. A couple cups of coffee a month go a long way. Firearmspolicy.org is Firearms Policy Coalition. SAF.org is Second Amendment Foundation. And CalGunRights.org is the California Gun Rights Foundation. They're doing a lot of work for you guys, a lot of it. I also want to bring your attention to, if you haven't seen, before I get into the next case here, if you're not on my Facebook page, people are starting to stand up for their rights. I put out a link to the video. Let me see if it's still active before I say it's active. I just want to double check. But people are getting out. They're sick and tired of being locked in under house arrest, and they're done with it. Let me see if it's active still, or if the link was taken down, because it might have been, because nope, it's still up. So it's still up there. Michigan, people jammed the streets by the State House asking that the governor be impeached and removed. It was beautiful to watch. Beautiful to watch. Let me see. LA County Jail has just caught my eye. Earth Calling says LA County Jail let out 4,000 inmates. Prisons are early releasing, and they also let everybody bail out. Yes, and that's true. And not just there, but in several places. I know Massachusetts is about to let go of some criminals as well. So let's get into the second case. But Michigan, they stepped up. They said, you know what, we're sick of this. It's not, quarantine is for sick people, right? Not for healthy people. We got it backwards right now. It's all about control. So the second thing that came out today from Firearms Policy Coalition, if you remember, I spoke about the Ventura County issue where the sheriff was shutting down gun shops, and an injunction was sought. A lawsuit went up, and the federal judge said, we're not going to overturn this. We're not going to give an emergency restraining order. We're not going to force them to open the gun shops. So now the next step has been taken. I'll read you this here and a couple quick quotes, and I think you'll like it. It says, the Firearms Policy Coalition, the Second Amendment Foundation, and California Gun Rights Foundation joined two individuals in seeking an injunction against the County of Ventura, California, and their wide-ranging ban on firearm and ammunition purchases, including the forced closure of retailers and bans on traveling to stores in other counties. Yeah, you heard that right. We'll get into that in a second on a quote here from Adam Kraut. But they're forcing everybody to shut up shop in that county, and they're saying, you know what, you can't even go to another county to buy stuff. Oh, okay, Adolf, sure. But the case filing on both of these cases, you can see them on fpclegal.org, fpclegal.org. It's on Firearms Policy Coalition's page. And this is McDougal v. Ventura County. It's a federal civil rights lawsuit. And the defendants, the people being sued, are the Ventura County Sheriff, Bill Ayub, William T. Foley, the director of the Ventura County Public Health Care Agency, Robert Levin, the public health medical director and health officer for the defendant county of Ventura, the Ventura County Public Health Care Agency, and the county of Ventura, California in and of itself. So that's good, all right? There are a lot of lawsuits that have taken place in the last 4 days that are looking to make a blanket statement nationwide. Every one of these groups is suing here in Massachusetts, and in Massachusetts, it's been too far gone for far too long, and they're not just here. They're taking place in California. They're suing in other states for other things, and it's starting to look really good. But it's going to be very expensive. They're all being spread real thin. So if you can, again, join and donate if you can. So Adam Kraut, if you've heard his name, if you haven't, he's a fantastic two-way lawyer. He's now the director of legal strategy for Firearms Policy Coalition. He had this to say: the amended complaint and motion for preliminary injunction are important milestones in this important case affecting the rights of nearly 1 million people. Not only did the defendants make it a crime for individuals to go to and operate firearm and ammunition retailers inside the county, they effectively locked people inside of the county by criminalizing travel to another county to purchase firearms and ammunition. Ventura's ban is blatantly unconstitutional. We are eager for the court to rule on our motion. And if it's worded like that, I haven't read the case yet. I'm about to, after I have a victory glass of some bourbon here, because we're monetized again. Woo! I don't see a judge in the nation who can't decide, even if they're anti-gun, the way that's worded, they'd have to take it up. So that could be very, very good. Another quote on this case is from the president of FPC, Brandon Combs. Says, County of Ventura officials apparently believe that they can redline fundamental individual rights, but the text of our Constitution and Supreme Court precedent says otherwise. This outrageous ban scheme violates the Constitution and the rights of law-abiding Ventura County residents. The court should grant our request for an injunction, but if it does not, we will not hesitate to move this up to the Ninth Circuit of the United States Supreme Court and the United States Supreme Court. So they're willing to go all the way. If this is what it takes to defend liberty and the people from enforcement of the ban by Sheriff Ayub and public health officials. So it is, when you see these lawsuits against cities, towns, mayors, whatever, governors, you can tell how serious it is when you talk to the attorneys involved or the groups that are behind it, funding it. If they're not like financially ready to go to the Supreme Court, because that could take, a case could take millions of dollars just to get to the Supreme Court, and then that could also take millions of dollars as well. But if they're not like bootstrapped in, heels dug in, ready to go, that the last inch, fourth and an inch, and everybody's tired and they're ready to go to the Supreme Court, they're ready to push through, then I wouldn't say, send your money to them. FPC is. They're ready to go. GOA here in Massachusetts is ready to go. FPC here and SAF here in Massachusetts with Goal and COM2A, they're ready to go. The long distance. That's what you're looking for. Those are the ones you have to get behind. And they have said it today in their quote. So this is good. All right, they're going after Ventura County and the sheriff and a bunch of his lackeys. And they're also going after the Attorney General, Xavier Becerra. And you've heard his name, Becerra, in a few cases, to include Freedom Week in California, which we are waiting to hear something shortly. So stay tuned to this channel. This is where you're going to find that stuff. If you haven't subscribed already, you probably should, because I put this stuff out sometimes 3 videos a day, like I did the day before yesterday. Stuff is happening a lot right now. It's coming fast and furious and hot and heavy because they're utilizing this crisis to take away the Second Amendment is what they're trying to do. So let's see if I can see some of these. Again, I'm on my phone because it's just so much easier during this situation I'm facing with the kids are all over the place going crazy. Those who have kids know, and those who have autistic kids know even better. Let's see. Ralph Northam is a traitor in Virginia. Yes, indeed. I did the video about the laws he signed, and I believe it might be too early to say, but they're going to be challenged. Let's see. Chase all the criminals out of government. That'd be a beautiful thing, wouldn't it? All right. Thank you. Plain Texas girl, thank you. It's always good to see ladies here. The female populace in the Second Amendment, you guys, you ladies, you gals, you don't realize just how damn important you are to this movement. So I'm glad you're here. If you know any, get them, not only help join this channel, but get them out to the range, get them a little more vocal in our community, and that's going to do a whole lot of good for us. ARC-77, sorry, these things go so fast on the phone. It says, why can't we just deport all treasonous politicians after forcefully removing them from office, providing their oath of office? Probably because they control the federal law enforcement. That'd be my guess, right? There aren't many people who are willing to put their career on the line for liberty. There's only a couple of us that I'm aware of. Let's see. Oop, here comes one. Avi May says, thank you. I'm a female firearms instructor in Washington State. Have been teaching for 2 decades. Awesome. Thank you for doing what you're doing as a fellow firearms instructor. I know what you do is invaluable, so keep doing it. Let's see. Mad Sexy. That's an awesome name. Says, any news on Freedom Week 2? California's coming. If you didn't see the video I did or the post I put up on my Facebook, I actually put the oral arguments for that case. I think it was April 4th or the 5th when they heard it. It's a 3-judge panel. You can actually watch the entire thing, both sides, and we're going to make a decision. It's probably going to come soon. They didn't give a date as far as I know. Let's see. Do you know off the top of your head if Rhode Island is a shall issue state? Off the top of my head, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I'm going to say no, and I could be wrong because I don't live there. But I do know that some chiefs of police don't give out permits, so just that in and of itself tells me it's not a shall issue, or shouldn't be considered a shall issue. Aviator 23 fly free. This is a great question. I get it a lot. It says, Jared, how can you stand living in Massachusetts? Well, I'll tell you what. I would love to move yesterday. I moved out of this state once for a reason. Came back for a reason. And right now, the only thing keeping me is probably my oldest daughter's school that she's in right now. But I guarantee you, unless things change rapidly, I'm out as soon as possible. You got to take care of your kids. She means a lot more to me than anything else. So I'll fight while I'm here, and if it keeps going the way it is, deuces. Squid Monkey, great point. He says the USCCA has a reciprocity map. Look there for issue advice too. That map is pretty solid. They tell you what states have reciprocity with others. So if you're worried about, am I covered if I go through this state, or if I get locked up, it's a good place to go. What's this? ARC77 says vote all R in November. Now, I will tell you with that statement, be cautious, because there are a lot of R's that have us in this situation as well. There are a lot of R's that have us behind the eight ball here, gun wise. This governor here in my state is technically an R. Charlie Baker's a Ryan, always listens to what the money tells him, so just be careful. Always better than D's. Yeah, yes and no. When it gets down to politics, neither side can be trusted. Jeb Reed says, "Can I lead the Free Army, the Army of Free America?" I'd love to. Paul Griffith, if you do not live in Mass, where would you live? It's kind of weird. So I absolutely hate humidity. I lived in New Orleans for 3 years. I hate oppressive heat when it's humid. That dry heat, like I was in Vegas, is kind of hot, but somewhere in between. I hate snow with a passion. If I never see a snowflake again, it'd be too soon. Hate the oppressive heat. And above all, I hate anti-gun states. So I'll deal with sweat and stickiness if it's a great state. But my answer today would be different than the day I moved, because things are happening left and right with lawsuits and anti-gun clowns being voted in. But places that are still friendly to guns would probably be top of the list. Utah, yes, I was looking at Utah. Tennessee is the safest. Tennessee was in my previous top 3. Probably still will be. In fact, I'm planning on, hopefully sooner than later, I'm going to be in Tennessee taking some classes with a couple big instructors down there. Let's see. Arizona's pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. Alabama, beautiful. I've been there a couple times. You'd hate Michigan. What was this? You'd hate Michigan. It was snowing here today. Yeah, I saw. I was watching a buddy of mine who was out there on his posts on Facebook, and he had snow in his car. Kentucky, Montana. Yeah, there's a lot of good places. The big thing is I have 4 kids that are on the autism spectrum. So number one would be, how is that area for that type of treatment? So that goes before anything else, because the kids are number one. And I know firsthand that Massachusetts is great for it, because I was one of the ones fighting for it when my 19-year-old was first diagnosed when he was in preschool. So that's Christ, 16 years ago. I mean, not a lot of places were talking about it back then. Now everybody knows about it. Car Kane says, Johnny B is my neighbor, nearly my neighbor. Good dude, man. He's a hot shit. He's a good dude. Giselle Roque says, we need Jared in California. And I've been there twice, and I was in the airport both times because I had a layover. I don't know if I'd do good there. Let's see. Any news on HR 5717? That right there so far, 0. I know, so there's a lot of talk about Nancy Pelosi on that subject, and she might be considering putting it into the stimulus package phase 4. Like I said in the live stream the other day, it hasn't happened. Nothing has been submitted negative yet. Are we preparing for, I'm somebody, are the people who are, big legal experts in this area, are they preparing for it? Absolutely. Have they already called out senators and sent notices to them? Absolutely. In fact, I know Gun Owners of America has a link where you can just put in your name and address, and they'll send off the information to your senators too for you. If you go to the live stream, the live video I did, it was, let me see, I look it up right here. I think it was 2 days ago. I don't even know I'm sure you guys are like me. I don't even know what day it is, never mind date. Everything's kind of blending together here. But the pinned comment on that video is that form from GOA. Just click it and goes right to it. You put in your name and I believe your address so it can figure out who your senators are, and it goes right for you. Let's see. Yeah, it was 2 days ago. 13th, so 2 days ago. And the title is Did Pelosi Put Anti-Gun Language in the Stimulus Bill? So check that one out. If you didn't watch that, give you some information too. All right, we're 25 minutes into this. Again, thank you all for those of you who reached out to YouTube and played a little part in this. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we're back at it, and hopefully we stay in the good graces. I had a lot of cool videos planned that everything's on hold because while I was being admonished and sent to the corner, I don't know what I can post anymore. I really don't, and they're so vague when I ask that I'm talking to other big YouTubers that are bigger than me and getting them pulling their ears. So I think I have a good idea now. So we're back in the swing. If I can just get my friggin' governor and AG to let ranges open up, we'll be back at it. So thank you all. Love you, honestly. You guys are my family, and I look forward to seeing you guys virtually every day. So until we see each other again, thank you for everything. Be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon, and I hope you're having a great one. Hope you guys are all safe, and let's get some shooting done soon, right? Take care, everybody.